everybody, thank you for tuning in to my second video. I want to thank everybody for watching my very first video, even though it wasn't what I wanted it to be, but it came out so good and everybody really enjoyed it. So as you can see, I have hair now. Yeah, I bought some hair. But this video will be my eyebrow tutorial, and I obviously have a full face on already, but I'm going to start out with my brows. And if you want to know how to do my everyday brows, even my Instagram brows is everyday basically for me. But if you want to know how to do these babies, just tune in right now. So I'm starting off with some skin prep. I like to use a moisturizer before I do anything to my face. I'm using the e.l.f. Daily Hydration Moisturizer. Yeah. It's morning time, so I'm just trying to get this voiceover done. But yeah, I'll go ahead and apply that all over my face and let it set into the skin before I apply any makeup. I also like to go ahead and prep the lips before I apply any gloss or liquid lipstick to them, so it'll be a smoother base for it. So I'm using the e.l.f. lip exfoliator in the scent coconut, and I really like this. It's very inexpensive. You guys should go ahead and pick it up if you want your lips to be a little bit more smoother before you apply any gloss or liquid lipsticks. Just wipe an exfoliator off with a damp rag. I like to let it set in for a little bit so it can moisturize the lips, plump them, and hydrate them before I go ahead and start with my eyebrows. Just applying some lip balm just to keep the lips hydrated while I do my face and everything else. So starting with a spoolie brush, I'm going to brush the brows into place, shape them to how I want them to be. And yeah, just give them some shape and tame any hairs that are out of place. You want to make sure that your brows are actually neat so you can go ahead and just outline them with ease. I'm using the MAC 266 angled liner brush for my brow brush, and I'm using Anastasia DipBrow in Granite. So I'm starting at the front and marking the areas where I want the brow to start and to end. You don't ever want to have your brow go past the corner of your eye unless your brows are really long and then you just want them to be full and longer, then that's up to you. But for a more natural brow, you don't really want to go past your eye and make it noticeable that you are wearing DipBrow or brow products. So keep in mind, just try to keep it as natural as possible. So with the Anastasia DipBrow, you want to place a little bit at a time on the brush. You don't want to put too much on the brush because then the brow will go on heavy and muddy. So with whatever you dab onto the brush, make sure okay, it's morning time, but make sure you work it into the brow before you add more to the brush. Just remember, keep in mind, you want to make it look as natural as possible. You don't want muddy brows and crazy looking brows. You don't want to have brows that's going to turn you into a meme. So keep it natural. Now I'm starting to fill in the top. If you need to place the hairs back in place, if they fall out of place, go ahead and use the spoolie brush again. The spoolie brush is really going to be super needed during this whole process because if you apply too much DipBrow, it can remove it and lighten up the brow, not make it look too dark. So now I'm starting to draw the tail in, starting from 3/4 of the brow towards the end, connecting everything together, and then I'm going to move to the front of the brow. And remember, do not put too much on the brush. Whatever you dab in, work it into the brow. DipBrow can be heavy sometimes, so a little bit at a time is key. That's the most important with the Anastasia DipBrow. As I said before, the spoolie brush is very important. As you can see, I'm going back into the brow to lighten it back up. It looked a little bit too heavy in the center. I love to have the center of my brows a little bit faded to make it look more natural. I don't like brows to be boxed and heavy in the center, so that's why the spoolie brush is very important. It takes out access products. So this is the most important part, concealing your brows. Before I start, as I always say, make sure you blend that fucking concealer out because you don't want your brows to look very noticeable that you are wearing product. So I'm going to show you guys how to blend. But for now, I'm starting with the LA Girl Pro Conceal in Cool Tan to shape out the brows with the concealer, starting from the center and then concealing by the arch of my brow. If I'm not saying the products that I'm using, you can obviously see them in the text, but I'm using a e.l.f. flat top liner brush to precisely conceal the brows. I like this brush because it's straight across and you can get right into the tight spots and get really close to the brow. As you see, I'm dragging the concealer down into my eyelid because this is also going to act as a base for your eyeshadow. Even though I'm dragging it down to my eyes, I like to use an extra base for my eyeshadow, which I will do a tutorial on how to do eyeshadow and complete your looks. So I'm now dragging it across my forehead at the top, and do not worry about it looking crazy because that's when the blending is going to come into place to make it look more natural. Remember that your foundation is going to cover this area, so it's fine. Just make sure you blend it out. If you feel that you have lost some color in certain spots, you could go back in with no product on the brush, whatever's left on the brush, to go back and fill it back in. So this is what the brow looks like. I'm going to go ahead and fill in my left brow, which is also on the right side of the screen. So I don't want to talk through this process so you guys can visually learn how to do it. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I will come back and sum up everything else. Went ahead and finished everything off camera. Now I'm setting the brows in place with the clear brow gel. I hope you guys learned something from this eyebrow tutorial, because I'm always getting compliments on my brows and ask what do I use. My brows are literally a conversation starter. So I hope you guys can achieve that too, nice compliments and good brows. So this is the finished look. I will put the products used in the description box, such as eyeshadow, lip color, all that good stuff. And as well as the hair, which is from Her Imports. It's a 12-inch lace illusion Brazilian body wave custom unit, customized by me. And I really love it. It looks very natural, like guy hair. It doesn't look too over the top. And I hope you guys really enjoyed this tutorial and my new look. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, add me on Snapchat, give me some feedback on this video. And I just want you to know that you are a glow god, you are a glow goddess. Don't let nobody dim your shine. Just keep glowing.